Hello everyone, welcome to GNU according to CD, that is Government of National Unity, who is now working. So the Minister of Energy, I'm not quite sure what his name is. Okay guys, before I go on with this, what on earth is load reduction? Is it like load shedding? Because it sounds like one of the same thing to me. They're just playing with words. Because according to what is explaining, load reduction is that on the same street, if there's a house or houses that are overloaded, some houses are going to be load reducted, meaning they are going to experience blackouts. Now the question is, what if the houses down the road they just have heaters and they are cooking on ovens, what do you call this, electric stoves and baking and doing all kinds of stuff, and then the houses at the top they will remain in darkness until when again? Because this doesn't make sense to me. And how come they are not scheduled? So the houses down, they have 12 hours, and the houses up the street they have a 12-hour, and they kind of like rotate like that, because it's unfair that the houses down the road are the ones that are getting electricity, and the houses up the road they can't get electricity because the houses down the road they're a little bit selfish. I don't know. If you are experiencing load reduction, please educate us how this whole thing works, because clearly in South Africa we always learn something new when it comes to our government. However, the good news is we are actually getting out of the red zone when it comes to load shedding. We are celebrating, apparently, as you watch this video, it's going to be day 139. I did this video at 138th day since the days of load shedding. So this is good. I mean, I am so loving the fact that there's electricity. Like the olden days, remember the olden days? I mean, we had constant electricity. I am loving the fact that I don't have to worry about turning on my, what do you call that thing again? Oh my goodness, I even forgot. Inverter. I forgot to put my inverter on. If you had to ask me about those lanterns, those lanterns that we used to buy at Pick and Pay, I don't even know where mine are. That's how long ago I have experienced the load shedding. So, anyways, he does give the nation an address. Basically, he's saying that the days of load shedding is not that they are over. It all going to depend on the generators that are basically performing really, really well and improving on a daily basis. But that doesn't mean there might not be a trick or a trip somewhere sometime, and then we go back to load shedding. But they're just reporting that everything seems to be going according to plan, and the days of load shedding may come or pass, or whatever the case might be, is what saying with this big English. You know how those ANC people talk, right? Sometimes you're like, huh? Where's my dictionary? Yeah, so that's the type of, it's Ramakopa, yes, that's the minister of energy. I thought we know, okay, never mind. Let's go on. So the whole point that I'm trying to make here is that we may be over load shedding, but not just yet. We're not out of the woods per se, but we're kind of like seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. And no, it's not a train. It is actually light at the end of the tunnel, if you know what I mean. So, anyways, without wasting too much of your time, let me play this clip for you so that you get it from the horse's mouth in case you have not seen it.
Yes, 138 days without load shedding, and we're seeing exceptional performance from stations that they have previously been underperforming. So they've made tremendous strides in making sure that they improve their performance. Tutuka, Kendall, and Krill have done exceptionally well because we've placed the men and women of exceptional quality there. Mr. Bruce Moya, Tutuka, Tsepiso at Kendall, and Morongwe at Krills, and we're beginning to see the kind of results that we're seeing. You're absolutely correct. The next challenge that's confronting us is that of energy access, and access has got two components. The first one is that the energy must be available. There are households now, as I speak to you, they can't hear or watch this conversation because of a new phenomenon called load reduction, and that has to do with if you like, downstream capacity constraints with regards to the infrastructure not being able to carry, if you like, the capacity that is required to provide for those communities there. And I want to say to those households, we will not fold our arms. We are working with local government to make the necessary intervention to make sure that they have their electricity, because I speak of no load shedding, but they experience 10 hours in a day, 5 hours in the morning, 5 hours in the even without electricity, we will work with the municipalities that are affected. We have found a solution, and that solution will test it in about 18 other municipalities. We're targeting those municipalities that are owing the most to ESCOM and that also have the biggest challenge of this so-called load reduction, so that we address that. The second problem you have, even in those areas where they don't experience load reduction, electricity is just unaffordable. It's gone through the roof, over 400% increase in the past 10 years. It's unsustainable. That situation is untenable. We have to arrest that situation.
I just came across it while I was busy watching some news clips on YouTube. As I usually get my news, I just get these 2 minute clips, 10-minute clips sometimes, and I get to watch that. Other than that, guys, I think I'm a little bit happy with that. It surely the GNU is working, and I want them to actually investigate the whole load shedding thing because something fishy about it. Who was benefiting from load shedding? I know I'm asking a dumb question. Maybe some of you will be like, "Oh no, planters, we were being made fools of, and they were using us to fight their political battles within the ANC." Da 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 da. I would believe it. Trust me, I would believe it. But what I need to know is, can you educate me about this whole load shedding thing? What's happening about it? And why we've spent billions of rands and we were still left in the dark at the end of the day. So now the GNU seemingly, I think it's working and keeping an eye on everything because I'm also seeing the Minister of the Police, whom I am most concerned about. I see all the other departments, but the Minister of Police, because our safety needs to come first. And so far, he is so invested in the pastor Borom stuff. I am a little bit frustrated by that. But I am glad that the DA, who is part of the GNU, has questioned him about over 5 million dockets that were closed between 2018 and 2020, I think 2023 or 2024.
So the Democratic Alliance is calling for Police Minister Senzo Mchunu to appear before Parliament over 5.4 million missing and closed dockets since 2018. A majority of these stolen dockets from police stations were open cases of rape and sexual assault.
Over 5 million? Ha! No wonder crime is this big in this country because there are people that get away with crime. There are people that get away with crime because they know they got the money to go and put it in the pocket of a police officer that opened, not in the police officer, I think most cases with the investigating officers. And then the docket gets lost, inverted commas, or it disappears, or it gets closed. I hope Mr. Mchunu is going to be able to explain this one because it just does not make sense and people need to be held accountable. And when I say people need to be held accountable, heads must roll. There is no way that over 5 million dockets are closed. I get those that go and withdraw at a later stage, but others, you and I already know how the police operate. I mean, hello, I had a situation in my apartment and I went and reported it. They came hours to come and to get the statement and do whatever needs to be done. The forensics came 3 days later to lift fingerprint. 3 days later. And then it took 2 days before I got an SMS telling me that my docket is closed. I was like, hey, no explanation, nothing. So I guess I fall part of that over 5 million dockets that were closed without them being thoroughly investigated. That is why I always believe that in South Africa, or at least the South African Police Service, I don't think they have the ability to investigate, which is why I keep asking this question about the training centers. Hey, wait. Guys, when I was growing up, I knew where the police training facilities were. I knew. But now, these days, can somebody please tell us where our South African police service trained? Not that I want to go there. I have no interest in the police training and everything. But does are they as visible as they used to be? Like in Hammanskraal, we knew that Hammanskraal was one of those police barracks and training center. What and there's even still there? What is going on? That is why I feel like the police training centers they are outsourced. For example, me, I go for a tender because I've got this space, and then I get this what they call the tender, and I'm not even a police officer, never been a police officer. I have no idea what police officers need in order to be trained, but I got this piece of land, and then I'm the one who's running the training center for the police because if you look at the type of investigations that they do, it's not even mediocre. It's non-existent. If you are following the Senzo murder trial, have you heard the police officers that have taken the step? Police officers that are young. And I'm not talking about the old ones because the old ones were trained by the apartheid government and so they understand how to work in the police force, and that is by using force. And that force may also include them forcing you to make a confession of a crime you did not commit. But it looks as though right now that is what we are experiencing as South Africans because cases are not being solved. And police that have no idea about how to solve a case, they close the dockets. Because where are they going to start? Where are they going to what exactly when they leave when the victim leaves the police station, where are they going to start? Because probably they never even trained about whatever issue was brought before them. I don't know if I'm making any sense with this one because that's how it looks, or that is what it's giving from where I am sitting. I mean, why are criminals roaming the streets? Why are therapists, that's the R word, roaming the streets while the victim or victims are actually watching these people, probably even intimidate them, probably even re-offend them. And the police just said, there's no case here. Case closed. Hmm? This is very scary, guys. It is so scary for our people. And I am hoping that the GNU will put an end to this. We start seeing arrests and successful convictions if the perpetrator is indeed guilty as charged beyond a reasonable doubt. Other than that, we are sitting ducks because it looks like the plan was always let these political parties that have been ruling this country for the past 30 years win the 2024 election so that it is business as usual. And then I promise you, there were a lot of South Africans that were going to be arrested for crimes they did not commit because of some kind of pressure that some cases are cold and now they'll look for what do you call this perpetrators in inverted commas. They're just going to profile you and say, hey, this case is this guy looks like the person that we can smear this case on. And yeah, innocent people go to jail. I ask again, are South African police service trained at all, or they are inept? What's happening there? It would be very nice to hear the full detail of the South African services training. If Mr. Mchunu is grilled about it, I hope he is ready to answer some questions because the previous minister yeah, the less said about him, the better, I think. So that also so that my blood pressure does not rise because I'm thinking about him. That guy made me angry for the how many years he was minister of police. Yo. Thank goodness for the GNU. Anyways, guys, that is all I have on my thoughts with this one. I would say water. Our electricity might be back permanently, but not yet. Let's not count our chickens just yet. But let's hope and pray that those generators they stick it up for us so that we have consistent electricity forever and ever. Other than that, please don't leave this video without liking, sharing, subscribing, and also sharing. See you next time with a new video. Goodbye.